I have to check myself and balance myself all the time. And pride is a trap to oneself. You don't have to care about what anybody else thinks. You just have to keep yourself in check with pride. And spiritual ego is like pride. Actually, it's exactly like pride. It takes the same form, but it puts you in a space where you're not humble and where you're not seeing things from an empathy type of perspective. And that's just for you. That's who cares what anybody else thinks. That's why I actually, I constantly put myself in a state of checks and balances. I check in with myself and I introspect with myself constantly. And pride is a subtle one. Pride is one you have to really watch for, because you don't realize that. Yes. And that's spiritual ego is the same, like you think you're better than you don't mean to be. It's not like you're trying to be. It's just that it's like imposter syndrome. You take on that form because it's more of a defense mechanism. It's something that you found a way to be able to take pride in, but then it excludes all other avenues that you could actually be humble toward, that you could learn from. And so that pride just gets in the way of learning for yourself and growing for yourself and expanding for yourself. And so, but it's nothing to look down upon. It's nothing to judge yourself or anyone else over. It's just something to keep yourself in check over. And so, yeah, this is mainly for Ian. Like but from 144 from the stars, I watched his reading, and he was talking about how he's human and how we're all human, and it's okay, and I think he was giving himself a little, or he was being a little too hard on himself, because we all need to keep ourselves in check in that way. Like no one is better than anyone else. And we all have to keep ourselves in a balance in that way. And I do too, like everyone does. And I constantly keep myself in check, because pride is subtle. Pride and spiritual ego is subtle. Okay. So like it can, but like I said, all it does is skew your view so that you don't see things that you need to see. And that's for you. Who cares what anybody else thinks? It makes it so you can't see and grow and expand and learn in the ways that you need to. Pride is arrogance, and it's like I said, that judging it as good or bad is the fallacy, is the fault, is the thing that we got to get rid of. It happens because we're human, and so we have to just accept that, and so that we can see when it does happen, to put ourselves in check and to put ourselves back into a humble state. And so, but it's nothing to look bad on yourself upon, or to look, or others either. It happens. It just happens. We're coming out of the Piscean age, where like everything, it was duality, and it was judging, and it was comparison, and there was pride, and there was arrogance, and there was ego, and we all have it. Even the humblest earth angel, 144, chosen ones, have these traits, because we're human. And we lived in a dualistic, we're trying to get back to a non-dualistic state of being. But at the moment, we're in a dualistic one. I mean, we're like kind of teetering on both, you know what I mean? We're trying to find out how to be non-dualistic. And to do that, we have to humble ourselves from our pride. But it has to do with us. It doesn't have to do with anyone else. It has nothing. So you don't have to explain yourself to anyone else if you become prideful. You just got to explain yourself to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and be accountable, and that's it. And then be true to yourself. It has nothing to do with anyone else. So like when I was watching your video the other day, or last night, I was like, it's okay, Ian. Like I get prideful too, but I keep myself in check. Like, and that's all you got to do is keep yourself in check. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You just got to be like, to me, like to make sure that I'm like not being prideful, I literally, it's energetically. Like when I introspect, and my humility comes from my heart. And so when I feel like I'll be like, I say I release all pride and ego, and then I completely surrender, and I completely release like all energy within me, any kind of tension, and I go to my heart, and I just expand out and that's where my empathy comes from. And so I say I release all pride. I release all pride and ego, and then I just bring myself to my heart center and expand out from there, and make sure that I'm not, because pride for me, my pride is up here. Like, and so when I release pride, I like flow down to my heart, and then I come back out, and then I'm okay. And so, and I do that all the time, like throughout the day, like at least 3 times a day. I'm like, I release all pride and ego, because like I said, all it does is get in the way of me being able to see what I need to see, and learn what I need to learn, and expand in the ways that I need to expand. And so like I put myself in that check. It has nothing to do with what anybody else thinks. Nothing does. It really doesn't. That's where the fallacy begins. That's where the lies and the illusions with that is caring what other people think in any way. Like, don't hurt anyone and don't hurt yourself, but don't base your life on someone else's opinions, because it doesn't work that way. You're not being true to yourself then. you're going off of someone else, and that isn't the way it works. You have to always come from here, always come from yourself. You got to be genuine to yourself, authentic to yourself. And so give yourself grace and forgiveness and mercy. God does. He really does. And so, yeah, like, I love you, Ian. Like, you're like my homie dude, for real. Like the dork in me sees the dork in you, for real. Like, Super Saiyan, all the way. And so, yeah. So don't give yourself grace and mercy, because God does.